A Curious Commonwealth viewer named Christy asked the question, why don't the 7 cities of Hampton Roads get along? So I hit the road and came here to Hampton Roads.
The problem, I think, has its roots in the 1920s, although there were some issues prior to that.
A map of the Hampton Roads area in the first part of the 20th century reveals rural counties that became independent cities, what we call the 7 cities: Virginia Beach, Newport News, Hampton, Norfolk, Chesapeake, Portsmouth, and Suffolk.
As the population suburbanized, there's a demand for services outside of the central core of the cities, and also the racial makeup of the city, the racial geography of the city is changing. And so for a variety of different reasons, the cities started to annex county land to keep that expanding and that population that was expanding in numbers and in geographical footprint to keep them within the city.
Norfolk started rapidly expanding from 1923 to 1955.
There was a racial dimension to it as well, but as white folks moved out to the suburbs, what a lot of people call white flight, those suburbs were out in the county, and so for the cities to maintain their tax base and for the cities to maintain their white majority population, they needed to grow out to incorporate or annex county land into those cities.
In the ensuing decades, other cities followed suit for complex reasons that cross into politics, race, and economics.
In the 1950s, after the Brown versus Board of Education decision, then you have essentially this fast creation of cities like Virginia Beach.
And as one city did it in the direction of another, the other city did it back towards them. And so you have basically from the 1950s to the 1960s, this kind of tit for tat annexation, and then a couple of big consolidations.
Virginia Beach, which began as an independent resort town, grew exponentially following the U.S. Supreme Court decision, Brown versus Board of Education.
The population of Princess Anne County, rather than being annexed by Norfolk, they preferred, largely based on either overt or subconscious racial bias and animus, preferred to be a part of the whiter, more affluent Virginia Beach than be annexed by the less white, less affluent city of Norfolk, even though the political machine in the city of Norfolk at that time was still controlled by Norfolk's white population.
By the early 60s, almost all of the counties in Hampton Roads had been consolidated into one of the 7 cities. One example Newbie Alexander points to as a sore point for the region is Norfolk's transit system. In 2016, Virginia Beach residents voted down a referendum extending Norfolk's light rail system, the Tide, into their city. Virginia Beach Mayor Bobby Dyer says residents voted against the project because of its design.
What we needed was a system, not just an east-west, because you would have to drive to get to it.
Not because of harbored tensions.
The narrative that Hampton Roads does not get along, the narrative that there is no regional cooperation, is a tired narrative from yesteryear.
Both Dyer and Crum belong to the Hampton Roads Planning District Commission, which meets monthly in Chesapeake. Its focus is fostering regional cooperation. Hampton Mayor Jimmy Gray points out,
maybe there was a time where regional cooperation wasn't what it is today. I wasn't in politics back then, and so, but I think now we kind of fully understand that we're better as a whole region as opposed to each individual city.
In the last decade, the area's jurisdictions have greenlit billions of dollars in regional highway improvements, including the Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel expansion. And a Virginia Beach businessman has a dream to build an NBA-sized stadium there without using taxpayer dollars.
I have a potential plan to let anybody invest in this, and so crowdfund this whole thing. Let the Virginia Beach residents have a say. If we were to sell shares, Virginia Beach residents could potentially get 5 times voting rights. So I think my approach is that which makes it different, and I think that's what gives it an opportunity to succeed.
He points to the metropolitan area's population, 1.8 million people.
We're actually the largest city in the United States that doesn't have its own arena.
But can Hampton Roads move beyond its public perception of infighting despite a history of rocky race relations and internecine conflicts? The ongoing Hampton Roads Bridge Tunnel is an emblem some point to as indicative of collaboration. It's one of many roadworks underway in the region.
And all of these projects were really designed to relieve congestion, but the regional leaders had to come together and make a decision together on which projects would be funded first.
These days in Hampton Roads, the 7 cities are building bridges, maybe with a few lingering groans about traffic. For VPM News, I'm Billy Shields.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the VPM YouTube channel, hit the bell for notifications, and visit vpm.org for more in-depth coverage.